When I was in college, I had this cool job at a donut shop. I never really thought about donuts before that from an engineering standpoint. I worked from late in the afternoon until early the next morning when you got to make all the donuts. Basically, you took this processed flour mixed in with sugar and coloring, put it in this ginormous donut gun. It looked like a big funnel with a trigger on it. Whenever you pulled the trigger, it would shoot out a ring of donut uncooked dough into a big vat of boiling oil. A lot of the things that we do can fall under the category of acquired tastes. Two common examples are coffee and alcohol. The way it works is a kind of an internally generated subconscious Pavlovian connection between the positive benefit and the initial taste. Our taste buds were calibrated a long, long time ago, when the most delicious food we could find came directly out of the dirt, and the occasional piece of fruit that wasn't nearly as sweet as we think about fruit today, and maybe some cooked, unseasoned meat if we were lucky. If you can imagine eating a really tough piece of meat burned to a crisp with a bunch of dirty carrots, that would probably be the best meal we could hope for back in the caveman days. There's a powerful hypnotic process that you can use to reprogram your subconscious cause-effect generator. This is what you do anyway when you learn something to the point of unconscious competence, like when you learn to play a song on the piano. When you first learn how to play a song, you have to look at that squiggly line on the piece of paper and then use a lot of conscious thought to figure out where exactly and when exactly to put your finger on the right note. But after you learn it to the point of unconscious competence, you don't need to use your conscious mind anymore. You just have a vague desire to play that song, and then your mind-body system does it automatically while you can watch. You can do this on a meta level if you can go down deep enough in meditation to remove your conscious interference. And then you can take all the desirable outcomes on a meta level and connect them to desirable behaviors on a meta level. Normally this is backwards. Like when you really like somebody and you have this belief that all you need to do is tell them how much you like them and they'll like you back. But if you ever do that, it almost always has the opposite effect. This is because our instincts were calibrated in an opposite environment than the one in which we live, so our instinctive compulsions almost always get the opposite result that we're after. So whatever our non-programmed intuition tells us to do something, it's usually the opposite of what we should do to get what we want. Because from a metaphysical energy standpoint, modern society has inadvertently reversed the polarity of our cause-effect intuition. But once you get down deep enough into a non-conscious level of meditation, you can rewire your cause-effect intuition and essentially make everything easy and automatic. Nothing will require any conscious thought. You can become unconscious and do whatever you feel like. You can become unconscious and act naturally. The more you do this, the easier things will be. You can just act naturally and spontaneously, and people will be naturally attracted to you. You'll naturally enjoy doing whatever pops into your head, and that will create massive social status. You'll naturally enjoy eating things that will create a very healthy body. You'll naturally enjoy thinking things that will create massive amounts of intelligence. You'll naturally enjoy inventing things that will make you incredibly rich and famous. One of the ways our ancient instincts are being used to kill us is by the processed food industrial complex. They are essentially making poison that we can't resist eating. It's making us more and more unhealthy while making them more and more rich. The very first time anybody drinks coffee, it tastes like crap. But then you feel that caffeine rush, and your brain makes an automatic link between the positive feeling of that caffeine rush and the taste of the coffee. And then the coffee tastes good. You can do this with anything. You can take any behavior and practice doing that behavior until you get a positive result. Then you take the positive feeling associated with that positive result and attach it to the behavior that creates that result. Then you will have trained yourself to enjoy doing the things that get positive results. The best part about making donuts in a donut shop was that it was in a sketchy part of town. And all these crazy homeless people would wander in off the street and tell me all these really insane stories while I was making donuts with the donut gun. And it turns out it's really, really interesting to be looking at some really weird guy while this weird guy is looking at you, telling you these crazy stories that don't make any sense. And then you go inside and you ask yourself, what the hell did you just listen to?